Okay, I'm going to
Okay,
admit our guest, and then we'll go ahead and start the meeting.
okay. We will now begin the Reclamation District 900 Board meeting for September 16th, 2021. Pursuant to the Governor's Executive Order N-29-20, members and staff will participate in this meeting via video conference, and public comments can be submitted in writing or in writing to admin@rd900.org, or if you would like to speak under public comment, you could raise your hand, or just raise your hand physically if I can see you. And I will ask for you to speak, and you will have 3 minutes to speak. I will prompt you when your time is up at about 30 seconds to give you your last comments before we hit the 3-minute mark. And then after that, you will be muted again by the general manager. So the link to watch the meeting is via YouTube at the Reclamation District 900 website. Next, we will go to item 1A, presentations by the public on matters not on the agenda. Within the jurisdiction of the district, the agency is prohibited by law from discussing issues not on the agenda brought to them at this time. So I believe we have one request to speak, Mr. Gary Frederickson. Go ahead, you can get started. Oops.
Yeah, I'm Gary Frederickson, a longtime resident of the city of West Sacramento. I currently live and have lived for the past 25 years at 2520 Tapley Road on West Sacramento. Reclamation 900 has a drainage ditch, which is for draining the Southport area through the front of our property. They have an easement through there. And we've recently had a culvert over the past year that has collapsed in our front driveway, which has caused the driveway to go down. And of course, I'm concerned about drainage. We've been in a drought for 4 to 5 years, and we're due a wet winter, and it could be this year, it could be next year, but we do need some type of drainage through here. So back in April, maybe May, I brought Tim Mullen out from RD900 to take a look at the culvert. And at that time, he talked about maybe abandoning the ditch and just letting us redo the road. But then he wasn't sure. And then I didn't hear from him at all. And I understand that there was personnel issues, or he left the Rec 900. So I reached out to RD 900 over the past month, sent a letter in, which I believe Mr. Fabian is going to read to you today. But we, me and my wife, are willing to partner with RD 900 some way to reconcile this problem. One, I want to take care of my driveway. There's a dip in the driveway. I'm willing to pay to repave my driveway and redo it, but I'm concerned about the culvert. So we're looking for a position from 900 of, or they want to abandon it or replace the culvert. And then we want to help them to get this done in any way. So I'm looking for direction from the board, or maybe the board to reach out and advise the general manager to partner with us and come up with a solution of this problem. My concern is, and Mr. Fabian, I've worked with him. I was a fire chief with the city of West Sacramento, and he was in public works. So he understands the fact that winter comes, asphalt it cannot be poured below a certain degrees. And then of course, the rainy season's coming. So we're looking for this to be done fairly fast before the winter season. And so I realize there is a budget, of general maintenance budget, but this item's not budgeted for. So I'm looking for the board to maybe give him some direction down the road of how to solve this problem. And if we can't, let's get it on the agenda for next month so we can address it. That's all I really have to say. Does the board have any questions for me? And I appreciate your time and letting me speak tonight.
Thank you, Mr. Frederickson. At this time, since it's not on the agenda, we're not allowed to have a discussion or ask any questions. But it sounds like you're already in touch with Mr. Fabian, so he can take a look at the matter and get right back to you. I don't know what discretion. And as I said, I don't, we'll have to talk about it with Mr. Fabian. We can't have a discussion on it because It's not on the agenda at this time.
Okay. Thank you for your time. I look forward to working with the board on.
Thank you, Mr. Frederickson. I appreciate
Thanks,
that.
Gary.
Thank you.
Okay, next we have on item 1B is the district financial, there are no other requests to speak, I gather, so we're gonna close public comment and we'll go to the item
Right.
1B, district financial update. Mr. General Manager.
Thank you, board, President Guerrero and board members. I'll go over, this is a little bit different format than what you've seen before, but this should be the format that you see going forward. So we have the 3 different budgets. The 900 drainage, we had a starting cash position. Excuse me, at about 13.7 thousand in revenue. We had a expenditures roughly of $199,000. So our starting cash position was 6.2 million. Our ending cash position was 6 million. And that is in the 900 drainage fund. In our levy maintenance fund, we had a starting balance. I'm sorry, this is for July of 2021. A $1.8 million balance in the levy maintenance fund. We had expenditures totaling a little over $52,000 and an ending fund balance there of $1.7 million. And for the 537 area drainage, or the north drainage area, we had a beginning balance of about $838,000, minimal expenses, roughly $7,000, and an ending cash position there of about $831,000. The overall cash position for the district is, we started out at about 8.9 million. And we ended the month with a cash position of about 8.6 million. The one thing I would add is that we are currently receiving the last of the installments of the of the assessments for drainage. We did receive the last levy O&M distribution from WASAFCA, and we're still waiting for the county to receive the final true-up payments for the 900 and 537 areas. But other than that, that's the financial report and the combined financial cash position. I'll be happy to answer any other questions you might have.
Are there any questions among the trustees? No?
Nope.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Fabian, and I'll open it up for public comment, and I don't see any. I'll close the public comment. And do we need to take any action to approve it, or is it just a report?
Just a report.
An update. Okay, thank you. Next, we have our consent agenda, part 2. And if there are no items to pull at this time, I'll accept a motion to approve the consent agenda. Thank you. Do we need, I need a second.
Oh, I didn't hear the first. So
Oh.
Karina, did you first that? Okay, I'll second.
Okay, thank you. All right, Mr. General Manager, can you please call roll?
Yeah, Trustee Orozco. I think you're on mute.
I did not hear you that time.
No, I didn't hear her either this time.
You're on mute.
Trustee Orozco, I think you're.
Trustee Orozco, you're on mute.
You guys don't read lips?
We do.
Nice.
No, we're trying, we're really trying. COVID's got us doing all sorts of things.
So I believe we have an aye. Trustee Ledesma
Aye.
and President Guerrero.
Aye. All right, we'll go to our next regular agenda, part 3, item number 6, district project updates.
All right, thank you, President. I'll try to be brief this evening. You have the report for the project updates in your packet. Just wanted to go over a few items of note. One of them is the Blacker Canal project. I previously reported we were kind of stuck with U.S. Fish and Wildlife, but we've made some headway lately. So the U.S. Fish and Wildlife has approved the district and our team's suggested mitigation measure, and they've moved forward and requested that we approve the Endangered Species Act review form, which I've done on behalf of the district. And now they're moving on to cover our project under an existing programmatic biological opinion. So we'll be able to move forward with the project. And now they can move forward with completing NEPA, and our consultant is going to move forward with the district to certify CEQA. So that'll be coming before you in the next month or two for certification. On the Drever Courtyard project, things are coming along quite nicely. All the interior and exterior painting is complete. Almost all of the improvements are done on the interior, with the exception of interior doors and frames. And we need the restroom flooring and fixtures to be installed. And then there's the storefront entrance and windows. And so that really takes care of the facility itself. And then the big item that still remains is the exterior site, which is through action the board took tonight. We'll be moving forward with scheduling the asphalt repairs, as well as removing and some of the dirt and grading out there, and getting some AB placed following the asphalt installation. So that's the remaining big item. All of the interior items should be completed really in the next week. And then I hope at the next board meeting to report that the remaining exterior site improvements have been completed. So looking forward to that. If all goes as planned, then staff will be looking to be moving into the facility probably in the month of November. One item that I left off of the report is the South Cross Levee project. As the board may recall, you approved a contract with Coleman Environmental to improve the maintenance road on top of the levee. Letters are going to be sent out to property owners probably this week. I issued the notice to proceed today. The contractor has submitted all their, executed the contract and submitted all their bonds and insurance requirements, and those have all been met. So notice to proceed was issued. And as soon as we get an estimate of the start date and the anticipated duration of the work, we're going to go ahead and send those notices out to the adjacent property owners. The project should take about 2 weeks, anticipate starting probably in 2 weeks. So should be completed by mid-October, if all goes well. And then lastly, in the report, it shows that there's no U.S. Army Corps of Engineers inspection plan for this year. Well, I got a call last week, and actually I got a call early this week, and they want to come out and inspect, for whatever reason, the South Cross Levee by itself next Tuesday. So anyways, that inspection is scheduled now, and staff will accompany the Corps on that inspection. And other than that, the Bridgeway Lakes water level. I contacted Public Works Director to follow up on whether there's the city has any water rights to pump from the Deepwater Ship Channel into Bridgeway Lakes. And the response that I got was, because the drought condition that the state's currently under, no permission to pump from the Deepwater Ship Channel would be allowed, whether or not we had permissions aside. And Parks is working with a consultant to evaluate where to locate the well and the permitting process they need to go through in order to get that project underway. I happened to see an article on the news based on the drought that well installation throughout the state of California is in high demand, and contractors are significantly backed up. So I don't know that that project's going to happen very quickly, although they're going to try to accomplish that, but it's doubtful that it's going to happen very quickly. And that concludes my report. Be happy to answer any other questions you may have.
On that topic, Mr. General Manager, could there ever be enough rain to, to fill it up, or to fill anything up to address? I don't think there could be. I think we'll have to have quite a few.
Well, the original design for the lake was intended to be filled by rainwater, and also the water levels maintained by groundwater.
Yeah.
As you likely know, the city has a pretty shallow groundwater, at least it used to have a pretty shallow groundwater table. Through these consecutive, 7 to 10 year drought periods, our groundwater table has subsided considerably. And so the original design for runoff and the groundwater table to maintain those lake levels doesn't appear to be functioning as originally intended. So another solution, the well, I think, is a good solution once we have it in place, owned and operated by the city, not the district. But in looking for a solution, we've been partnering with the city to try and come up, scratching our heads, trying to come up with whatever means possible, using our ditch systems to transport water to get it into Bridgeway Lakes. Whatever we can do together to help get those water levels up, we're on board. But it looks like the well is really the solution at this point.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions among the trustees?
No. The only suggestion I would have for the city is to look at the groundwater being pumped out west of Village Parkway from the development going on there. They've been pumping groundwater from the development. It's surprising how much water comes out of that well if you pass by it every day. So
Is that between Village Parkway and the
on the levee?
Yeah. Are they trying to install interior drainage or sewer lines?
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
Where's that water going?
I don't know where it's going.
Yeah.
I think it's going through a treatment system and then into the city's collection system.
Anyway,
That's a typical process.
Okay. Okay, that's very helpful. Any other questions? No, okay. And there are no requests to speak, so we'll move on to trustee comments. None?
nope.
All right, we'll move to adjourn. Do we need a motion for that, Ralph?
I'll move to adjourn.
Okay,
I'll second.
all right, thank you. Mr. General Manager.
Trustee Orozco,
Aye.
Trustee Ledesma,
Aye.
and President Guerrero.
Aye. All right, meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everybody. Have a good one.
Thank you.
you.
Nice night.
Thank you. Bye-bye.